9 o'clock. I believe it's time for roll call, you bastard. I hate you. The defence is not present. Such unprofessionalism. If there's no defence, then this trial cannot proceed any further. We must make a ruling based on the evidence that has already been presented. I will now converse with the jury. We shall decide whether Prince Juan is guilty of murdering Major Howe and of conspiring to murder the king. Your Honour, may I have a word? Make it quick. I'm a firm believer that a trial must be orderly and punctual. There is no room for wishy-washy dilly-dallying. But it seems somewhat rash to end a trial session the moment it is due to start. Perhaps it would be prudent to wait 5 or 10 minutes in case the defence is just a little tardy. This guy's on the straight and narrow. I don't mind this guy. Like, he's harsh, but he wants to do it right. That's fair. I don't mind this guy. Then the trial still has a chance to proceed and justice will be served. You are the prosecution, are you not? You have nothing to worry about. A guilty verdict is all but guaranteed. Your Honour, you appear confused. I'm not here to secure a guilty verdict. Of course you are. You're a prosecutor. By definition, you're here to prosecute. No. My job description is to prosecute, but I am here in this courtroom to ensure that justice is served. An unfair and unbalanced trial is not in the spirit of justice. That's very noble, but if the defence is absent, then there is little that can be done. I'll hear no more about this matter. I will now talk to the jury. I'm back. Defence is present, more or less, Your Honour. This guy is pissed. Too late, Falcon. Mon Dieu, JJ, you look like a total mess. Did you take a morning swim in the Seine or something? Pretty much. Something like that. Your Honour, we are all present. We are only 3 minutes over schedule. Let's not needlessly dirty the pure name of justice. Rules are rules, prosecutor. Falcon clearly has no respect for legal procedure. Frankly, for turning up looking like a drowned rat, I was to hold him in contempt of court. Your Honour. But Your Honour. Rules are rules. One more word out of either of you, and I shall have you both disbarred. Cocorico knows this is bullshit as well. It's a pity. The King of France was most looking forward to standing behind this witness podium. Oh, Cocorico! King of France, you can't overrule that guy. There he is. Oh, are we not doing the trial after all? That's a pity. Oh, Your Majesty, what a surprise, you see. You know, it's my 7th time testifying against a would-be assassin, but it's the first time seeing a trial where the case has ended before it even began. Oh, the defence, he was late and stuff. Pish posh. France did become a great and dignified kingdom through rigorous punctuality. Let's go ahead with the trial. It'll be fun. Look, I'll say the oath to get us started. I swear to speak without hatred and without fail, to tell whole truth and nothing but the truth. This guy knows the ropes, he knows what he's doing. Did I get it right? That was perfect, Your Majesty. JJ, I trust you got no objections with the king testifying. No! No objections here. Go ahead with the trial. This is fine. Go for it. And surely you wouldn't stand in the way of the king, would you, Your Honour? Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to say, mate? Fine. Proceed with the cursed trial. Excellent. Now, Your Majesty, could you tell us your activities on the day of the murder? My activities? Well, I started the day with tea and toast, as I normally do. And I was dressed in my PJs at the time. I think you can skip a little. Perhaps your arrival at the Louvre. Oh, right, of course. Well, my entourage and I entered the Louvre south entrance at 9 o'clock. We passed through the Salle de Tibre with a little fanfare. At the Grand Gallery, I unveiled the new painting and gave a short speech to inspire the citizens who attended. That's when I was approached by a man claiming to be the Prince of Spain. He presented a rose which was taken by Major Howe, and well, I think you know the rest. Indeed we do, Your Majesty. Madame and Monsieur the Court, what we have here is another testimony that establishes Prince Juan's guilt. And this is no ordinary testimony, it is the testimony of perhaps the most trustworthy man in all of France. You flatter me, prosecutor. But I am the trustworthiest in all the kingdom, aren't I? I've got no doubt, Your Majesty. Nonetheless, I would like to perform a cross-examination. How dare you doubt your king, utter nerve. Calm yourself, Judge. I've got no qualms with standard legal procedure. This guy knows what's what. Defence, please proceed. I want to see your best courtroom drama material. This guy's in it for the shits and giggles. Selected testament to question. South entrance. Yeah, pretty sure he did go that. Indeed he did. We approached from the Hotel de Ville, so it was an easy riverside stroll. Did you see anyone suspicious? Hopefully the fisherman. Suspicious? I'm afraid not, monsieur. Just the regular riverside types. Bourgeoisie, vendors, people who fish, and the like. I see. Do you have another question? Do I? No more questions. Okay. Let's talk about the Salle de Tibes. Your Majesty, you say that you passed through the Salle de Tibes uneventfully. Indeed, we stopped briefly to look at the paintings, and then moved to the Grand Gallery. What did you see? Tell me about it. What did I see? Well, Roman stuff mostly. I mean, aside from Roman artifacts, did you talk to someone in the room who wasn't a member of your entourage? You're reaching, JJ. The king already testified that you passed through without encountering anything of interest. You're right, I'm reaching. Alright, back down, come back to that. My gut tells me something important took place there. But maybe you're right, Severin. It would be foolish to blindly push on, wouldn't it? Do you have another question? No. Actually, yeah. Do I? Let's have a quick look. Oh shit. I'm clicking too much. Get back to it. What about the other rooms? There are several rooms between the Louvre South entrance and the Grand Gallery, but you only mentioned the Salle de Tibes by name. Why is that? Oh, Salle de Tibes was the only room we looked around in detail. The other rooms we simply passed straight through. Why did you stop in that room specifically? Well, there's a giant doorstop that caught my eye and sparked a debate. Say no more. I know the doorstop in question. Do you have another question? We'll come back to it. Talk about the Grand Gallery where the murder was. Please proceed. May we hear your inspiring speech? Let's butter him up. What, right now? Without my cue cards? I'll give it a shot, I suppose. Madame and Monsieur, welcome to the grand unveiling of my beautiful portrait. I don't claim to be the greatest king penguin to have reigned over France, nor the handsomest, nor the most competent. Some might argue that I'm not even top 10 material, but I am a humble king penguin. Some consider me to be the humblest king penguin of all time. Your Honour, I object. This speech is a travesty. Sustained. Do you have another question? Alright, fine. Did you see anyone suspicious? Aside from the Prince of Spain, did you see anyone out of the ordinary in the Grand Gallery? Why, monsieur, the Grand Gallery is always inhabited by artists. Everyone out there is out of the ordinary. Nonetheless, can you think of anyone who stood out? Is this question going somewhere, or are you blindly stabbing in the dark? I'm stabbing in darkness. Alright, let's back down. Perhaps it's a little less stabby and be a little bit more brainy. Do you have another question? No, let's ask the last one. Prince of Spain. Your Majesty, you say that you were presented with a rose by the Prince of Spain. Indeed, he formally introduced himself. I knew he was telling the truth because he called me Signor. That. Oh, do I want to go with that? Why did Major Howe take the rose? I find it curious that Major Howe snatched the rose before you could take it. Why did he do that? The Major's always been a protective fellow. I think he was just doing his diligence as a royal guard. And given how he took the figurative bullet for me, I'd say that he did his job well. Oh, I can't argue with that. The man was not the Prince of Spain. Your Majesty, Prosecutor, members of the court, brace yourselves, because I have a revelation that will turn the trial on its head. Juan Courtoom is not the Prince of Spain. That's not a revelation, Falcon. It isn't? Of course not. We all know that the current ruler is Queen Regnant Isabella II and that she has no children. The Courtooms are obviously pretenders to the throne. Prince Juan's title is probably self-appointed. His name isn't Juan, but let's push it. But his name isn't in Juan Gelido. I don't even think the fox is Spanish. So what? That's important. JJ, what's important is that this man is accused of committing murder and conspiring to kill the king. That's what's in dispute here. The man's name is irrelevant. He could be named Juan Courtoom or Bob Struney for all I care. It doesn't change the events that transpired on the morning of the January the 6th. I suppose that's true. No. Okay, so let's go with... Salle de Tibes, let's go with that. There's got to be something about the chocolate in here. What did you see? Okay, so... I want the king to elaborate on what he saw. I have reason to believe that this was a key moment of the day of the murder. I want the king to elaborate on exactly what and who he saw. Then I suppose you will have to proceed, your majesty. Alright, let me think. So there was that giant doorstop, and there was that copper... Tell me about the copper urn thing. Oh, there was something now, you ask. I was offered a box of chocolates by some peasant mademoiselle. This is it. This is the thing. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but Major Hull was keen to accept a chocolate or two on my behalf. Kokoriko knows what's up. Did I say something startling, prosecutor? No, please continue. I think the prosecuting is startled because he just came to the realisation that I was not spouting drivel to the previous trial session. Oh, that's debatable. To cut a long story short, Your Majesty, this mademoiselle may hold some relevance to the case at hand. Could you describe her? Was she a swan? Really? She's relevant? Well, let me think. I didn't get a good look at her face, but she was a sorry-looking swan, probably in her late teens or early 20s. I don't suppose her name... Am I going to go with it? Mademoiselle Signy... I don't know why he catch her name. Signy... That sounds familiar. Why, yes. I think that was it. She was called Mademoiselle Signy. I see. This is undoubtedly significant. Mademoiselle Signy gave chocolates to Major Hal minutes before he died. Just 1 minute. I see what you're alluding to, JJ. You're suggesting that the gifted chocolates killed the Major. But that line of reasoning holds no weight because the evidence is circumstantial. Circumstantial, my tail feathers. The king just testified that Major Hal ate chocolates. Yet, that much is no longer in dispute. But he's still not proved that the chocolates were poisoned. Without that, we must assume that the swan was merely offering a gift rather than speculating that she's a murderer. Yes, yes, this guy knows that I know that he knows that he... Oh my god. Shame on you, defence. Implicating a poor innocent girl like that. Absolutely disgusting. I ought to end this trial. Hold on. I do have evidence that the chocolate was in fact poisoned. I don't believe you. If you had a piece of evidence that significant, you would have slammed it down already. Present it. Well, I can't. It's not really the evidence folder type of evidence. Why am I not surprised? The drama was just getting good. Why did you suddenly go quiet? Well, Your Majesty, it appears that the defence just had a realisation of his own. That is, that he lacks the evidence to support his theory. Since he cannot continue with the argument, I believe the cross-examination has come to an end. I'm not done. Let me present my evidence. See, I had the chocolate wrapper back in my office. Stop while you still have a little dignity. The results of whatever crackpot pseudo-scientific experiment you performed do not constitute valid evidence. I think this trial is over, Your Honour. About bloody time. You may take your leave, Your Majesty. Very well. I'm pleased that justice has been thoroughly served. Until the next assassination attempt, adieu, monsieur. I will now deliberate with the jury. Objection. Sparrowson, sorry. I always wanted to do that. Sparrowson, are you good? Yep. Doctor said I've got an iron stomach. Most of the poison passed straight through me. Speaking of which, I'd like to testify on that poison chocolate issue. I even got a doctor's note, see? It's too late. The trial is over. You can't be serious, Your Honour. The contents of the net could turn the entire trial on its head. You must allow it. Why are you constantly arguing with me? I thought the job of the public prosecutor was to assist the judges. I told you, Your Honour, my job isn't to get the guilty verdict. It's to ensure that justice is served. I swear, you're the worst prosecutor in all of France. Go ahead, Sparrowson. Read the contents of the note for the court to hear. Yes, this patient, Sparrowson, was submitted to... Was it Saltrier Hospital, where he displayed a variety of symptoms. These included profuse swearing, a rapid fever, and severe nausea. Oh, sweating. My bad. The patient was diagnosed with poisoning, probably originating from the plant known as aconite, aka monkshood, aka wolfsbane. When we questioned the patient, he admitted to having consumed a discarded chocolate wrapper potentially carrying the poison. Examining the contents of the patient's stomach confirmed this to be true. As a mental health professional, I believe this patient to be clinically... Oh, we can skip this bit. Oh yeah, yada yada, here we go. Signed, Dr. Fulret. Thank you, Sparrowson. I don't think I'll need to question you. Between your note and the King's testimony, every angle of the chocolate wrapper business has been covered. Awesome. Did you say King is here? You can get his autograph later. Right. What happens now? Do I get cross-examined by the prosecution or something? To be honest, I see little to cross-examine. Do your damn job, prosecutor. Cross-examine that little annoying liar of a bird. Tear his testimony to shreds, Your Honour. He has a note signed by a medical professional definitively proving that the chocolate wrapper from the crime scene was poisoned. We could nitpick the details and delve into the doctor's credentials, but I fear it would be a waste of the court's time. Nobody wants that. So then, what the hell do we do now? We do nothing, Your Honour. This poison wrapper was introduced an element of doubt into the case. The prosecution must accept that. But is the level of doubt reasonable? Is it significant? I think the members of the jury will agree JJ's evidence is still tenuous. A step above circumstantial. You have proven the link, a not wholly illogical link, but you haven't proved beyond a doubt that Major Hal was killed by the chocolate. You're still making far too many assumptions. Where's the empiricism that is required in any good court of law? Where are the witnesses who can back up your claims? Oh, you got a witness? Maybe she can help. Sparrowson. Oh, here she is. You. This is gonna be weird. Sparrowson, it's great to see you on your feet and you've been an enormous asset to the case. But what are you trying to pull off now? A surprise witness? Yeah. I remember you mentioning that Kokoriko liked calling surprise witnesses, so I thought we could beat him at his own game. I brought the flower girl, Mademoiselle Signy, so she can testify about Prince Huang's character. You're putting me in a difficult position, Sparrowson. Just moments before you arrived, we, the court, established that Mademoiselle Signy is a possible suspect for the case. You what? That can't be right. Sparrowson, it's okay. Monsieur Falcon, I'd like to testify. Do you understand what you are agreeing to? I do. I have accepted my fate. Prosecutor, do you have any objections to me calling upon Mademoiselle Signy as a witness? None. Bearing in mind, of course, that you are here to defend Prince Huan and not to convict Mademoiselle Signy. Prosecuting is my job. Gotcha. I have no objections either. Please proceed, witness. Speak the oath. Say that you swear to speak without hatred and fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I swear. There you go. Good. Very good. Please state your name and occupation for the court record. My name is Catherine Marie Signy. I'm a flower seller. Mademoiselle Signy, tell the courtroom of your activities on the morning of 7th of January. Very well. I saw the king and his entourage enter the Louvre about 9 o'clock. I followed. When they came to a stop at the Salle de Tube, I stepped forward and offered the king a chocolate. He refused, but a guard, a big dog by the name of Major Hal, was happy to oblige. The guard died because I personally had previously added poison to the chocolates. Oh, this is all turning nasty. Alright. I used poison derived from monkshood, a notoriously dangerous plant. As a flower seller, it was simple to acquire. Why did you do it? Why? Monsieur, people have tried to kill the king before, and people will try again. He is a vile man with no respect or love for the people who suffer under him. I did it to better the French people. This is a bullshit reason. I don't believe that. Say something, Falcon. Mademoiselle, are you being coerced or threatened? Speak freely. No, monsieur. I'm confessing out of my own volition. It is my guilt and nobody else's. Okay. Well, defence, it looks like you wormed a confession out of this murderous pute. I suppose that gets your client, Prince Huang, completely off the hook. Lucky you. So, shall we wrap up the court session? I've been warned. The chicken guy, he warned me that my only job is to make sure that I prove Prince Huang not guilty. It isn't my job to go any further, so I should stop. I've overreached before and it come back to bite me, so I'm stopping here. I think so. As far as I can see, Mademoiselle Signy's confession completely exonerates my client. One job at a time, mate. One job at a time. You can't be serious. As the public prosecutor for the trial of Prince Huan, I ought to cross-examine the witness to test the validity of her testimony. But in truth, I see little to cross-examine. The Mademoiselle's confession seems to be completely in keeping with the narrative already established in this trial. I will undertake some basic fact-checking to ensure that everything is in order, but my work for this trial is done. Good. I shall now converse with the jury, although I suspect this won't take too long. Don't worry, Mademoiselle, we'll get you out of this, won't we? I could try and go for the judge. I could have tried to do that. But, yeah, let's look at this evidence. Oh, this one. Yeah, I've got the receipt that proves that it's signed by the judge. It's signed in green ink. He has now knocked me out, and he's planted a green ink pen in my pocket. And he's going to try and implicate me. I can't do it. And I've got the tickets to prove that her parents have run away. Maybe I'm making a mistake, but we shall see. You're clearly a caring individual, but this outcome is for the best. How the hell is this for the best? My parents are safe, that is all I wanted. Oh, they escaped. That deliberation was straightforward. We find the defendant, Prince Juan Credo, to be cleared of all charges, and therefore find the defendant not guilty. Well, I did my job, but it doesn't feel good. Your Honour, what will happen to me? You? Well, we haven't been formally tried yet, but fortunately for you, we have a free trial slot this afternoon. We should be able to determine your guiltful by nightfall. You may even see the blade of the guillotine by tomorrow. How lucky. Gotcha. Okay, then. I suppose this is goodbye, Monsieur Falcon and Monsieur Sparrowson. It can't end like this. I must be honest, I'm most disappointed with you, Signor Falcon. You're disappointed? I did the impossible to secure your not guilty verdict. Signor, I didn't just hire you to prove my innocence. I hired you because I thought you were the liar with the philosophy, an ideal. Alas, it appears I hired a man who places his job above his values. I've done no wrong. If the mademoiselle is innocent, then she will be proven as such during her own trial. Will she? Tell me, have you ever before seen a faulty judgment in the courtroom? Yeah, I have. I thought as much. I suspect this is the last you will see of Prince Juan. Before you go, we need our payment. You really are a bottom of the barrel attorney, aren't you? You're an insult to your reputable family name. Falcon means reputable? I didn't know that. No, not Falcon, his original name. Perhaps you should learn who your mentor really is, Signor Sparrowson. His history may surprise you. What's the on about, Falcon? It doesn't matter, I suppose. Here's your payment. This is less than half of what we agreed. It's more than twice than what you deserve. Got a bad taste in my mouth. I'm gonna get a drink. Yeah, me too. Ah, this stinks. These endings to these trials. So, yeah, this is the point. This is the turning point. I chose to rest my case because I interpreted that the Kokoriko's warning that it's his job to prosecute as a signal to lay off and not pursue this further. In fact, I'm a defender. I'm a defense attorney. So I'm not going to prosecute. I'm going to defend Signy as well. So I haven't finished. We're going to go down this path now. Not yet. I've got a further question for the witness, Your Honour. To what end? You've already proved your client's innocence. I wish to uncover the truth, also to prove her innocence. You aren't here to uncover the truth. You're here to defend Prince Juan. And you've done that job with a disgusting level of diligence. Nonetheless, I believe Mademoiselle has omitted something of huge importance. I wish to question her further. Yeah, what have we got? I won't allow it. Fine. Can I at least show something to the witness? You and the prosecutor are a right pair of moralising blowhards, aren't you? You're doing my head in. Fine, if it will shut you up, I'll let you show one magical mystery item to the witness. I can't imagine you have anything up your sleeve to change the flow of the trial, though. Monsieur Falcon, save it. I have nothing more to say. What are we going to show her? Okay, so we have got chocolate wrapper, who cares, the business card, book page, poison rose, chocolate receipt, ticket stubs, which I believe are to the girl's parents, and also a pen. I'm going to go with the tickets because it proves that her parents have fled to Vienna, so they are out. Please take a look at these, mademoiselle. Train ticket stubs. Look at the names. Papa and Maman. In Vienna. Oh yeah, are they really safe? They are out of the country. They are in Austria. The tickets were arranged courtesy of the fox. Then, that means the wolf has nothing to hold over me. I can speak freely. Indeed, go ahead. What are you two muttering about? I'm amending my testimony, Your Honour. Members of the court, everything I've said has been the truth. I did go to Louvre on the 7th of January. I did present a box of chocolates that were poisoned to the king. Except it was not of my volition. I was threatened. I was forced to carry out the task under threat of harm. You see, my family's been struggling to get by. The winter has been harsh, and my flower business has been struggling. One day, a man approached me, a man I assumed to be kind-hearted. This man offered me 200 francs to get us through the cold. But I could not afford to repay the debt. When I attempted to bargain with the man, he offered me a deal. Assist him with murder, and he would drop all debts. Refuse, and he would ruin me and my parents. I obliged because the alternative meant death for those I love. The name of the man who did this is Judge Romulus. There's an accusation for you. What are you going to say? What a creative story. This is obviously a last-minute, desperate attempt at passing the buck. The sheer laziness of this girl to accuse a man she's never met before. She's blatantly floundering. Indeed, I've heard dozens of these self-pitying yarns during my time as a prosecutor, although, admittedly, this is the first time I've seen a witness directly accuse a judge. Quite a brazen gambit. But in any case, these sorts of stories never turn out to be true. They're always proven to be fabrications born of desperation. I've never been more honest, monsieur. Listen, Mademoiselle Signy, I'd like to believe your story, but accusing a man, a judge no less, of conspiring to murder the king is a hugely serious accusation. Do you have any proof to support your story? You say the judge lent you money, then you both must have signed a contract when you made the transaction. That contract would suffice as proof. Who has this contract for blackmail? The contracts were all verbal. He said the money was a gift at first, and only later said that I had to repay him. How convenient. Of course this supposed contract doesn't exist. The Mademoiselle has no proof because her story's a blatant liar. Falcon, do something. Do we have anything to link Judge Romulus to Mademoiselle Signy? Have we got a link? Members of the court, I know for certain that the Mademoiselle's story is true. I can say with certainty that Judge Romulus has made contact with Mademoiselle Signy in the past. I know this because at this very moment I'm holding a key piece of evidence that links Judge Romulus directly to the crime scene. Okay, so we've got the receipt with his name signed in green ink and then the pen. So let's go for the receipt. I think you should take a look at this, Severin. Don't you trust it in the judge's hands? No, I don't think I do. What is that? What does that piece of paper say? This is a receipt for a box of chocolates from Landa Hagelslack's Chocolate Emporium on the 6th of January, made out to a man named Romulus. Oh, didn't like that. The writing upon the receipt is clear. A man named Romulus bought chocolates on the day before the murder. These chocolates happen to have been the same brand and flavour as the ones that were used in the royal assassination attempt. By itself, this evidence would not be definitive. It would only suggest that the judge has something of a sweet tooth, but taken in conjunction with Mademoiselle's updated testimony, that would imply that the judge was directly involved in the assassination attempt. Judge Romulus, do you have anything to say? Yep. That receipt's not mine. I haven't stepped foot in the chocolate shop in years. You can't be serious. The receipt is undisputable proof of your purchase. Watch me dispute it. What you have there is a scrap of paper with the word Romulus scrawled on it. Is it a forgery? Are there simply two men named Romulus living in Paris? I don't have a clue. What I do know is that you have nothing to prove that I was the one who signed that receipt. That's absurd. Do you want me to dig up court documents with your signature so we can undertake a handwriting analysis? That wouldn't be possible. I believe His Honour uses a rubber stamp for signing off on official court documents. That is correct. No matter, I don't need the judge's signature. I already have in my possession proof that the signature on the receipt belongs to Judge Romulus. Whoa. We got the pen. I guess I'll go with it. First things first, I believe you dropped your pen, Your Honour. Oh yeah, that's mine. Thanks, I've been looking for that everywhere. You've been stitched up, you've been done. I thought as much. Mesdames and Messieurs, last night I was assaulted outside Sapetier Hospital. I did not see the assailant's face, but I did accidentally grab something from their garments as I was thrown into the Seine. That's why you smell of fish. I wanted to say something, but I thought it might be rude. This fountain pen is the very item I grabbed. Did I say that pen was mine? On closer inspection, I see I must have been mistaken. Save it, Your Honour. I'm not here to press assault charges. What interests me most about this pen is the ink it contains. It is emerald green in colour. And as we all know, only bad is writing green. Well, yeah, but more importantly, it's a rare and unusual choice of ink colour. I'd venture that only a dozen people in all of Paris are arrogant enough to write in green. And I'd venture that only one of those arrogant people is named Romulus. So Judge Romulus lacks respect for classic penmanship. What of it? Take another look at the receipt, Severin. The receipt was signed with emerald green ink. It certainly is quite a coincidence. No, there's no more room for coincidence. There's no more doubt. There's only one narrative that can tie this ridiculous string of evidence together. On the 6th of January, you, Judge Romulus, bought a box of chocolates with custom filling. That custom filling contained poison originating of the flowers of Mademoiselle Signy, a street seller who you owed a debt. On the 7th of January, you, Judge Romulus, leveraged a debt to force the girl to present the poisoned chocolates to the king. Then an idiot of a man by the name of Juan framed himself as the murderer in order to take the fall from Mademoiselle Signy's stead. You pushed for Juan's guilt by priming a witness, Monsieur Toussaint Kingsley. When that failed, you pressured Mademoiselle Signy to take full responsibility for the crime. That is the only narrative that makes sense. Admit it. Fine, I do admit it. I did it. I purchased the chocolates. I did the poison. I put a peasant girl in debt just so I could force her to take the fall. I was the one who wanted the king murdered. But there's not a damn thing any of you can do about it. I'm the one who holds the gavel, and I'm the one who passes the sentences. You do know the king is in the room. With a snap of my fingers, I could have each and every one of you guillotined at the Place, was it, d'Austerlitz before nightfall. Who judges the judges? Who stands above me? Nobody. Not even God can condemn me when I sit so highly. Wow. Attempting to murder a king. Corrupting the corps d'assises. What an utterly repulsive individual. Don't touch me, you pig. You got no authority over me. The king has. He doesn't, but I do. Take him away. I'm not done. I'm not done with any of you. You're all guilty, you'll see. A revolution is coming. The rebels will overrun Paris. The king and government will fall. The bourgeois will be slaughtered. How can you be a judge and not bourgeois? Tell me. Anyway, we shall have a glorious second republic. A republic free of class where everyone is free and equal. Don't touch me. Just another ranting lunatic, your majesty. Ignore him. Of course, carry on, Inspector. Oh, okay. That was awkward. What? What happens now? Oh yeah, we haven't got a judge. I guess I'm supposed to take over the president judge's duties. If you could. Well, given a surprising series of revelations that just took place, we believe the results are clear. We find the defendant, Prince Juan Quiodo, to be cleared of all charges. We therefore find the defendant not guilty. Awesome. So yeah, this was the proper route I should have taken. What? What happens to me now? Mademoiselle, it's clear that you were coerced. However, you still play a significant role in the king's assassination attempt. By all rights, you must be tried for your crimes. Gotcha, I cannot argue. But as it happens, due process was not followed during the trial session. Judge Romulus thoroughly disrupted the proceedings. Consequently, I believe that most of the testimonies given during this trial session would not be seen as valid in a court of law. What does that mean? He's saying you're free to go. Correct. As a prosecutor, I see no crime to prosecute. Thank you, monsieur. And thank you, monsieur. Without your help and assurances, I don't know where I would be right now. So, are my parents really in Vienna? I think so, but you'd have to ask the fox for detail. I don't know exactly what he arranged. Although, now that Judge Romulus poses no threat, I suppose your parents would be free to move back to Paris. Actually, I may follow them to Vienna. That's probably wise. You need a holiday? Well, yeah, but I also want to get away from here before, you know, before the fighting starts. That doesn't bode well at all. You mean the revolution Judge Romulus mentioned? He doesn't seem mentally stable. Pay him no mind. It's not just him. In the streets, everyone talks of uprising. If you were smart, you would clear out of here too. Thanks for the concern. But we're far from smart, so we're staying put. I see, then good luck and farewell. Maybe we can meet again when this is all blown over. Wait, don't you want to have a quick celebratory drink? Oh, she's gone. I guess it's just you and me and the fox. That sounds good. Take Prince Juan back to the Aviary office. I need to sort out some paperwork with Severin. Okie dokie. I suppose the congratulations are in order. Uncovering the truth in the way that you did, it was quite a feat. Everything went far better than I could have hoped, but you surprised me at the end with that little lie of yours. Oh yeah, what lie? This trial's testimonies are completely invalid? Bullcock. You and I both know that this trial has produced ample valid evidence for Mademoiselle Signy to be detained and tried. Even with the coercion accounted for, I bet she'd still be found guilty of conspiracy or accessory to murder. Why are you holding back? You know, 10, maybe even 5 years ago, I probably would have prosecuted her. When I was fresh out of law school, I thought my role as prosecutor was to condemn every potential criminal that came my way. I thought, if the guilty person ends up behind bars or on the hanging dock, then justice has been served. But, as I gained experience, I started noticing the details. Okay. The extenuating circumstances, the personal considerations. The gaps in the law where even when due process is followed to the letter, good people are punished and wrongdoers walk free. I hated it, so I changed my role. I decided that I should not strive to secure a guilty verdict, but to ensure that justice is served. I could prosecute Mademoiselle Signy, and she would definitely be convicted, but that would not serve justice. Oh, I'm gonna praise him. You're a good lawyer, Cocorico. You. Well, you're not terrible, Falcon. I must congratulate you, Signor Falcon and Signor Sparrowson. Yeah, on the other ending, he was not happy with the outcome. But I saved this guy, so that was alright. What am I doing, still using that old accent? I of course meant congratulations, Monsieur Falcon and Monsieur Sparrowson. It's no big deal, we're just doing our jobs. No, your job ended when you proved my innocence. Everything after that was you going above and beyond your duties. That was the mistake I made when I got the wrong ending. This is the better ending. Of course, I was counting on you to do so. A lesser lawyer would surely have stumbled or caved in. Sorry. Before I forget, your payment. Thank you. This has been a strange case, but I'm glad the truth came to light. How much have I got now? 90 francs. I'm loaded. I'll see you out. Wait, Monsieur Valpes. Before you go, something's been bothering me. Why did you come to us in the first place? Surely there are much more reputable lawyers out there who could have done a better job. More reputable than the Falcon that stands before me? Well, yeah, Falcon's got a sucky track record. True, he does have a mixed record, but his family name is hugely respected in the lawyering world. I chose Monsieur Falcon as my lawyer for that reason alone. So, nepotism. Basically, not because he thought I was especially good. Oh yeah, I've never heard of another lawyer named Falcon. Let's not go down this road, Monsieur Valpes. I don't go by my old name for a reason. That is fair. We shouldn't be fixated on the past, should we? After all, it's already been and gone. The future is where our potential lies. That's what we should be paying attention to. A storm is approaching fast. You mean the revolution that the crooked judge mentioned? Indeed. I dare say that the wolf is right. A rebellion is coming, one way or the other. Listen, Monsieur Falcon. You'll probably have a surge of work over the coming days. If you want me to dig up dirt on anyone, please feel free to drop by my office at any time. Dig up the dirt? I'm a private investigator. It's what I do. We'll bear it in mind. Thank you, Monsieur. Good day. I'm going to get a drink. Seriously, Falcon, what? I was just going to ask if you wanted tea or coffee. Not get absolutely drunk out of your mind. Yes, that is very cool. End of Act 2. And this time, yeah, I went back and I got the good ending. And yeah, I'm glad I did that. And this is Ushio signing off. And hopefully I will see you back for Act 3.